denim faded, but I rock it like a baby in a car. I put the water in the ocean in the city that I'm from. My denim faded, but I rock it like a baby in a
Welcome to my channel. The wig we'll be working with today is a 22 inches full frontal pre-plucked wig. It's a 13 by 4 frontal, but it's not like the full 13 by 4 like those ones that has the U shape. The first thing we are going to do is to prep the wig. This is very important when you buy a wig straight from your vendor. If it's a straight wig like this one, you will need to straighten it in case maybe it became coiled during the time that, or ruffled during the time that it was being transported to you. So I'm using heat protector serum. That's very important. You want to make sure you use heat protector when you are straightening. If it's a coily wig, just move straight to step 2. So this is step 2. The hair is all straight now, so we'll start to work on the frontal part. So for the frontal part, we're going to use our wax stick to lay the frontal part very flat. The flatter it is, the better it looks, and it's even better when you are installing. This tends to get all the hairs away from your face, so that when you are applying your glue, you don't have hair all over the place. If it's a coily wig, you don't need to straighten it with your straightening iron. Just go straight to this step 2. Use your wax stick to tame the front of the frontal and to lay it flat. This just makes it way easy, very, very easy when you are installing, trust me. If you noticed, I didn't use much wax stick because I still want the frontal to still be able to flow. I don't want it to just be weighed down. So you can see that it still has movement to it, even though all the hairs now are at the back, and so there's no hair that will be getting in my front when I'm trying to install the hair. Also ensure that you press the hot comb on the hair when you're doing this. So this is how it looks like. So the next thing now is to install. Since we are only going to be using the spray, we are not using glue, and we're also not doing the belt cap method. I'm just only going to wear the cap on, then apply foundation on the cap. Use a shade that is exactly your shade or one shade darker. Do the same thing to the inside of the lace. Make sure you apply this generously, then spray the got to be glued spray so that it doesn't smear or move around. Be careful not to do what I did. I sprayed it into my eyes. Then the next step would be to put the wig on and size it on your head. Ensure that it fits from ear to ear. Let the center be at the center and let the side be at the side. Please, if you make any mistake by not placing this properly, you might end up seeing that the center of the hair will be slanty, So once you are okay with that, still check again. For me, I don't need to cut off any of this except the excess lace. It fits from ear to ear, because if you're like me, you're chubby and you have big head, you would always see that you don't even need to cut off anything from the head aside the excess lace. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm cutting it from ear to ear. Use a very sharp scissors in case hair is getting on your waist or your face, so that you don't cut your hair. Use a butterfly clip or any clip you have to secure that away, then cut, and be very careful not to cut yourself, and also not to cut too much of the lace, in the sense that you end up cutting the part you're supposed to glue. The next thing you need to do is to clean your forehead around the areas where you would apply glue. Then once it's dry, you can go ahead to spray your glue. So this is the first application. Apply a generous quantity of this glue around your hairline. Even if you're having excess dripping down your face, no problem. You can always clean this with your alcohol and your cotton pad. So just clean any excess, blow it. You can use your hand dryer if you like, but I didn't do that. Once it's tacky, for you to know it's tacky, if you touch it, you see it sticks to your hand, then it's time to apply do your second application of the glue. So apply a generous quantity as well for the second time. Blow it down on cool setting. If you're using your hand dryer for this, make sure it's on cool. Okay, if you use hot setting, it will dry off completely. Then go in for the third time, apply a generous quantity again, because this is the only thing that this lace is going to be sticking on. We're not using the lace glue this time. Clean off any excess that is dripping. Once it's tacky, I decided to moisturize my lips. This is when I realized that my lips was dry. So now that it's tacky, we can now bring our lace forward. If you've watched my previous videos here, you will see that I don't like to cut the lace. For some people, they like to cut the lace into 3 or 4 parts and then lay them down gradually. For me, I like to lay everything at once. Pull from ear to ear, pull it very well, make sure it's very flat, then press this. I don't know why it's not showing like I did that, but that was what I did. Pull. If you feel you didn't pull it well, go in again and pull it. Make sure it's very flat, then press and press and press and press on the glue. Then go ahead to dry it. Yeah, you can use your hand fan, you can use your hand dryer. For now, we'll just be using cool setting again. Everything will be cool setting. Make sure the glue is completely dry before you go ahead to tie it. Somebody complained the last time that I didn't show what I was doing at the back, so for this tutorial I'm showing you what I'm doing at the back. So what I simply do is to tie the band very tight at the back like this. We're going to be doing, for this first tying down, we are going to be tying it twice. We're using 2 bands, and now we are going in with our hand dryer, but we are going in on the hot setting because we want this to really dry down. Once it's dry, you can take out the band and you should have something like this. Okay, so the next step now would be to cut off the excess lace in the front. Cut it as close to, avoid cutting your hairs, please. Cut it as close to the hairline as possible. Or if it has glued, like for me, some part of it already glued to my skin, just leave it. You are going to blend it later on. But if it's still possible for you to cut, go ahead with your scissors and cut as close to the hairline as possible. I love the lace on this wig. It's very, very easy to install. It's almost like HD, even though it's not HD lace, but it has a very good quality. Okay, so now that we've cut off the lace, just go in. If there's any excess you still need to remove, please go ahead to do that. I wasn't really seeing very well in this video because of the light directly in my eyes. So for the parts that are lifting, just spray some glue on your palm or at the back of your hand, and then go in and apply it gently on those areas. Don't go in again with the spray and spray it directly on the lace. If not, it will cause everything will just loosen. Okay, so spray on your hand, then apply small quantity just on the areas that are lifting. Use the tail of your rat tail comb to press it down. Then blow it with your hand fan, or if you have like your blow dryer, use it to blow it as well. So it's time for baby hairs. In the previous tutorial I didn't do baby hairs. That's because I'm not really like a fan of baby hairs, but I decided to do baby hairs for this one. So I'm cutting out my side buns now, and then I'm also going to cut some baby hairs just above my, what do you call that place, is it temple or what, just above my eyebrow. The arc of my eyebrow is what I always use as a reference. That's exactly where I would take my baby hairs. Then I'm using a smaller straightening iron now to straighten this forward to fall in front of my face. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut in a slanty way, not straight but slanty. Let the longer part be towards the end. Okay, I was struggling to see here because I had about 3 lights facing me and they were so bright. So then I'm doing the inward coiling method for my edges today. Okay, this just makes it easier for you. See, without any effort at all, it's already laying down the way I want it. I'm using mousse because I still want the edges to still have movement to them. I didn't want them to just stay stiff and glued to my face. So if you also like that you can still fluff it out after laying them down, use hair mousse. This process is very tricky and it's always the hardest process if you're somebody that is still like a beginner. Just take your time with it. Take your time with it. That's why I even prefer using mousse, because it gives you time to play around with it before it dries down, as compared to using glue. And sometimes edge control would leave like a white cast. So once you are okay with your edges, like you've played around with it and you've gotten the desired design that you want, then the next step would be to tie it down again so that it would be laid down flat again on your head. So once it's dry and you're okay with everything that you are seeing, the next step would be to go in with your hot comb again to flatten the frontal, to make it lay down very flat. This really brings out the beauty of the hair. So just go ahead and work on the frontal with your hot comb, but be careful not to burn yourself. Always press the hot comb down on your head. Press it down on your head. This helps it lay very flat. Yeah, now I'm doing a middle part for this particular style. From here you can go ahead to style it however it is you want to do it. If you don't want baby hairs, don't do baby hairs, just go ahead to style. So for the back, there's excess lace at the back. The way this wig was designed is designed in case you want to do like a updo. So that was why they did this. See how it looks as if I did if I want to do like an updo, is way easy. So I just tuck the comb at the back inside, cut off the excess lace gently, and this is how the back should look like. If I do an updo, you will not even know that this is a frontal. You would think I had like a 360 frontal. So with your hot comb, use it to define your part and also flatten around the frontal. So just keep going until you are satisfied with how this is looking. Because this is human hair and it's very quality human hair, I'm using the highest heat on my hot comb, and I didn't use a lot of the wax stick. For your parts, use the same foundation that you use to tint your lace and your cap, the cap you use the same foundation to define the parts, and guys, you are done. Okay, this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope it was detailed enough for you. If you still have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section. This is how the hair looks like. I stood up to show you guys the length. This is 22 inches like I mentioned